Kung inaasahan mong ma-inspire sa privilege speech ng working student na nag-graduate bilang Summa Cum Laude sa University of the Philippines Diliman, mag-next video ka na lang. Dahil pinili ni Val Anghelito R Llamelo ang mag-reality check sa kanyang valedictory address nang mag-graduate sa kursong Bachelor of Public Administration. Sige nga, ating pakinggan ang speech ni Val, na kahit hindi naman inspiring, pero trending naman, dahil sa dami ng humanga dito sa pagiging makatotohanan.
The inspirational and motivational types of valedictory address are the common types we hear during this graduation season. Yung tipong kapag natapos mo nang marinig yung speech, yung reaction mo ay, galing. Ganda, no? Tutularan ko yun. O di kaya naman, parang sisikuhin ka ng nanay mo, dapat ginaya mo yun. Buti pa yung anak ni ano. This time, however, I wish to deviate from that norm and standard. So today, I chose not to inspire you with my speech. But first, let me tell you my story. At an early age of 18, I began to feel and understand my family's financial instability, so I started to earn my own money by working for a BPO company as a call center agent. At 19, I juggled 2 jobs as a marketing assistant and tutor in learning centers to support not only my academic needs, but also those of my family, as the COVID-19 pandemic had caused both my father and my older brother to temporarily lose their jobs. At the age of 20, I decided to be the breadwinner of my family because it had always been my dream for my father to retire, as I know how hard it was for him to work as an OFW since I was young. I did all of this while also studying here at UP. And now, at 22, I am very proud to say that I am the first UP graduate of my family, having received the university's highest academic distinction. As you can see, my life and academic journey is similar to those that are frequently featured in the news and social media. Kwento ng isang mahirap, na nangarap, nagpursige sa buhay at pag-aaral, at ngayon magtatapos ng kolehiyo. Taon-taon na lang, hindi nawawala ang ganitong uri ng kwento. Parati tayong may mabasa na trending post, na tricycle driver, na pagtapos ang 3 anak sa kolehiyo. Mag-aaral mula sa IP community, nagtapos ng pag-aaral. Nito lang, nag-trending ang mga posts kung saan ang mga seniors or ang mga magulang nakapagtapos ng elementarya at edukasyon or kindergarten. Ngayon, marahil ang aking kwento yung papasama na dito. Working student at anak ng dating OFW. Nagtapos bilang Summa Cum Laude sa UP. These headlines and narratives draw a lot of public attention and praise because aside from being inspiring, the society we live in today finds it unusual or surprising that a poor or marginalized student graduated from college and sometimes with flying colors. In the past, I used to celebrate this success like others, but the privilege of having a UP education taught me to question why such a fundamental human right as education, which must be granted to each of us, is not a natural occurrence. Na tila hindi pang karaniwan na may nakapagtapos ng isang mahirap. To all who are listening to me, especially those who find themselves in similar situations as mine, those who are juggling work and studies at the same time, acting as the breadwinner of their family, I urge you not merely to be inspired by my success and story and wonder, paano niya kaya yung nagawa? Paano siya naging Summa Cum Laude sa kabila nun? Honestly, I feel uncomfortable answering those questions because I do not want to be your inspiration. I do not want my story to be your source of motivation. I am and will never be your role model. I firmly believe that no one should have to endure the same structural barriers I face just to get a diploma and reach where I am today. My journey and story should not be a standard for success, but a testament for the need to dismantle the barriers we have in our society so that we can create an equitable path for all of us. Rather, what I want you to feel is to feel discontented, frustrated, and even disgusted towards a system that has forced students like me to work twice or thrice as hard just simply because the current system makes obtaining a college degree like an attainable feat for many of us. I want you to be disgruntled enough with the system to the point that we demand for something better and not settle for less. To yearn for a system where working students, indigenous people, and individuals from impoverished families have equal chances to finish their degrees. Because as long as stories similar to mine persist and continue to be surprising for others, it speaks volume about the prevailing reality we live in today, where access to quality education remains a privilege dependent on one's socioeconomic status rather than a right that is accessible to all. Siguro sa puntong ito, napapatanong ang ilan sa inyo, ano bang pinagsasabi nito ni Val? Ano bang punto niya? Ang tema ng ating pagkatapos ngayong araw ay matatag at maaasahang serbisyo publiko sa gitna ng pagbabago at kawalan ng katiyakan. But before we delve into the question of how we can establish and promote a resilient and dedicated public service, the first question that we must answer first is for whom do we dedicate this service? Para kanino? By answering this question, we can lay the foundation for understanding the core purpose and beneficiaries of our collective effort in public service. At masasagot lamang natin ang tanong na ito kung mayroon tayong kamalayan sa inekwalidad o hindi pagkapantay-pantay na nanunuot sa sistemang ating ginagalawan. Dahil kahit na lahat tayo ay nakararanas ng pagbabago at kawalan ng katiyakan sa oras na may kinakaharap tayong suliraning panlipunan, hindi natin maikakaila na hindi tayo pantay-pantay o hindi tayo pare-parehas ng paghihirap na nararanasan at dahilan sa uri o klas na ating kinabibilangan. Mahalagang parati nating isanaalang-alang ang mga aspetong panlipunan gaya ng inekwalidad dahil ito ang paraan upang magkaroon tayo ng kamalayan sa iba't ibang konteksto, posisyon, at uri ng mamamayan na ating pinaglilingkuran para nang sa gayon ay makapagtaguyod tayo ng isang serbisyo publiko na hindi lang maasahan at matatag, kundi may malasakit din sa mga tunay at higit na mga nangangailangan. Upang maisa konteksto ito, magandang halimbawa ang COVID-19 pandemic. While the COVID-19 pandemic affects everyone, regardless of our class, the existing disparities and differences in our socio-economic status influences how we perceive its effect and how we deal with its consequences. In education, when we transition from face-to-face to online learning, not everyone had the privilege and resources to meet the demands and requirements of online learning because the harsh reality is that middle and upper classes have better access to technology and other resources, while some of us come from low-income families find it difficult to acquire the devices we need for our education, such as laptops, computers, and stable internet. With this digital divide, we can also expect significant differences in educational outcomes, which contributes to the perpetuation of existing class inequalities as privileged students continue to flourish and thrive amidst this change, while underprivileged students are more likely to fall behind. At dahil ganito ang sistemang mayroon tayo, napipilitan ng ilan sa atin na kumayod upang makalasap ng kaunting pribilehiyo. Kaya nga minsan, napapaisip ako siguro kung hindi ako nagtrabaho habang nag-aaral, siguro wala ako dito ngayon sa inyong harapan. Hindi ako magiging summa cum laude kung nagtiis ako na gamitin yung nag-iisa naming laptop na sobrang lag na at naka-dextrose. Alam nyo ba yun? Yung kapag tinanggal mo siya sa saksakan, namamatay na yung laptop o kahit bagalaw mo lang ng kaunti. Fortunately, I was able to save enough to buy devices for my education. We know, however, that this is not the case. In reality, millions of students lack the resources they need for distance learning. So instead of pushing the students to do what I did, what we should do is to demand and advocate for better public service in the education sector that will truly address this apparent inaccessibility. The same can be said for other aspects and sectors of our society. Sa health sector, bukod sa pagbibigay bansag sa ating mga doktor, nurse, at iba pang health workers bilang bayani, dahil sa kanilang dedikasyon at malasakit at tumulong sa mga may sakit lalo na nung kasagsagan ng pandemya, bakit hindi natin sila bigyan ng sapat na pasahod at wastong benepisyo? Bukod sa pagkilala sa mga OFWs bilang mga bagong bayani, bakit hindi natin palawakin ang oportunidad dito sa Pilipinas at itaas ang minimum wage upang hindi na kailanganin ng mga magulang natin na mga ibang bayan? Sa usapin ng siyensa at teknolohiya, bukod sa pagbibigay pugay sa ating mga scientists at inventors, sa mga mahalagang kontribusyon nila sa kanilang larangan, bakit hindi natin sila bigyan ng sapat na pondo at maayos na pasilidad? Sa tuwing hinahagupit tayo ng sakuna, unos, kalamidad, o kaya naman may kinakaharap tayong malalaking problema, bakit bukod sa pagbibigay pugay sa katatagan o pagiging resilient ng mga Pilipino dahil nakagawa sila ng paraan para makabangon gamit ang sarili nilang paa, bakit hindi tayo magmalasakit at bigyan sila ng tulong na kanilang kinakailangan? Dahil kung puro papuri at paghanga lang ang gagawin natin sa mga napagtagumpayang paghihirap ng ilan nating kababayan, binibigyan natin ng pagkakataon ng mga politikong ating iniluklok sa pwesto na takasan ang kanilang obligasyon at pananagutan sa ating bayan, napaunlarin ang buhay ng mga nangangailangan at bigyang solusyon ang mga problemang matagal nang kinakaharap ng ating bansa. Fellow graduates, many of us will serve in the public service and some of us may become the next Supreme Court Justice, member of the House of Representatives, senators, or even president. Huwag sana nating tularan ang mga politikong pinanday ng UP, ngunit mas inuuna ang sarili bago ang bayan. As we embark on the next chapter of our lives, I do not encourage you to always be optimistic that when we look at the struggles of our fellow Filipinos, we always look for the silver lining. Because in reality, not all situations can be viewed through the lens of a half-full glass. Sometimes, looking at the glass half empty is the better thing to do. Using this half-empty perspective, it enables us to recognize the systemic root causes of our problems, challenge the status quo that perpetuate them, and to hold our leaders, elected leaders, accountable. Kung noon, ang sagot ng marami sa atin sa tanong kung bakit tayo pumasok sa UPI upang maiahon ang ating pamilya sa kahirapan, sa paglabas nawa natin ng universidad, naway bagong layunin natin ang baguhin ang sistemang ginagawang mahirap ang karamihan. Hindi dahil sa mahirap tayo, hindi dahil sa hindi tayo nagsumikap o nagtsatsaga, kundi dahil araw-araw tayong pinagkakaitan ng pagkakataon at oportunidad na umahon. Saan man tayo dalhin matapos ang araw na ito, bitbit nawa natin ang lahat ng ating natutuhan, hindi lang mula sa ating mga kaguruan, kundi pati rin sa iba pang kawani ng universidad, ating mga naging kaklase, mga naging kaibigan at pamilya, at higit sa lahat, ang ating mga natutuhan mula sa ating sariling bayan. Patuloy nating palawakin ang ating kaalaman at karanasan sa pamamagitan ng paglubog sa masa at pakikiisa sa kanilang laban. Samahan natin sila sa pagkalampag sa mga politiko sa tuwing ang mga ito ay nagbibingi-bingihan at inulat sa mga pagkakataong sila'y nagbubulag-bulagan. Ang malaking hamon na iiwan ko sa atin bilang mga lingkod bayan ay magtaguyod ng serbisyo publiko at pamamahala na mulat sa tunay na ugat ng problema ng ating bansa at paghihirap ng mga Filipino. Marahil iniisip siguro ng ilan sa inyo na parang imposible ito, lalo na sa ilalim ng Administrasyong Marcos. kung saan marami ang may bahid ng korupsyon. Ngunit, ito ang dahilan kung bakit mas pinili kong huwag magbigay inspirasyon ngayong araw. Dahil mula sa kwento ko at iba pang kwento ng katatagan at paghihirap ng mga Pilipino ay manaig sa atin ang pagkamuhi sa kasalukuyang sistemang pumapabor lang sa iilan upang sa gayon ay patuloy tayong maghangad at lumaban para sa isang kinabukasan kung saan ang kakayahan na makapagtapos ng pag-aaral ay may katiyakan. Mga scholar ng bayan, tuloy lang ang ating laban. Maraming salamat at pagbati sa inyong lahat.